Good morning.
Hey, good
Recording.
morning.
Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. And
You
you?
well? Yeah. Yeah, very
No, no,
well.
no, wait. Wait.
No, I am.
There,
I
got
promise.
it.
Good. What have you been up to? Yeah, very fine.
I have, the last lesson we had
Mm-hmm.
was was an exciting one because I learned something that was highly important.
Tell me.
Well, when I was in college, I took a music appreciation course
Mm.
and pick up the phone, Bill. Oh, it's on the phone. And during we had classes, and the instructor had a record player, and he'd play classical music, and he dropped the needle on the record,
Mm.
and we'd have to figure out who it was.
Mm.
But that was fun, Alex.
Good.
It was also trying because I'd be trying to study my history or whatever it was I was studying, and I'd
Mm.
hear bum 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 bum
Oh
bum bum
yeah.
bum bum bum, and I'm going,
Love that. What's that? Beethoven something.
Beethoven's Fifth.
Fifth.
But we had to know the whole orchestra, the whole piece, not
Mm.
just opening.
Not just the
We had to
famous bit.
recognize the whole thing.
Yeah.
And I realized after you shared with me on material, which I appreciated, because I was really very angry at myself the last lesson. I just tore myself apart miserably.
Yeah. Okay.
I learned I learned that when I played like my pieces, I got to a point where I could almost play the piece in my mind.
Mm.
I don't know whether you've ever done that. You
Just.
practice on the piece and then you hear it in your head.
Mm.
You close your eyes or you look at the piece and you can hear it.
Mm. I struggle to turn it off, Esther.
I can imagine.
The music
I
in
know
my
what you're
head
talking
is
about.
a constant soundtrack.
Yeah.
It's not so bad though. I
And
feel
that
like
is,
I'm in a movie a lot of the time, and I've got a backing track.
well, I hope I hadn't upset you too much, Alex.
No, no. So
But
what's
but
this in relation to? What was the context of what we were talking about?
I blew it on that piece on Sunday in the Clowns.
Mm. Ah, right. Yeah, I'm with you.
Okay. I was very upset with myself. I was angry as all heck. I realized I was very tight, and I was not as relaxed as I should be,
Hmm.
and it just made me angry.
Frustrating, isn't it?
Well, it doesn't have to be. I learned from that to let it roll off your back and keep on going.
Yeah. Mm.
So there's two parts of it I have to play for you
Hmm.
that I've gone over in my mind so much. As you said, it's like being in a symphony. You try to sleep and you hear this piece, and I'm going, let's go to bed, shall we? You know. And I guess you have the same problems.
Mm. Mm. Well, I mean, a lot of people. What am I trying to say?
I don't know if that makes
It,
any sense or not. I thought
I,
it was a.
no, I'm with you. I feel like a lot of people have constant something going through their heads. For some of them, it's self-talk, and that can be quite negative a lot of the time. They're berating themselves. So for me to have music going on, it doesn't seem so bad in comparison, especially when it's often quite good music. Um,
Yeah.
all right, well, let's have a look at Send in the Clowns. We'll do some playing. We'll get warmed up. And then it was Send in the Clowns, and I wanted to hear, what was the other one? Was it Tonight or Maria? We're finished with Maria, so Tonight.
Oh heavens, we're finished.
Correct?
I hope so.
Good.
Yeah,
All right.
it's tonight.
Good.
It's tonight. Now, Alex, I want to tell you on something else. With that, I have not gotten up to the speed that it was supposed to, I feel, in some areas. But,
Mm-hmm.
hear me out. I felt it was most better and more important that these fingers, the three of them,
Yeah.
play right.
Yeah. Well, you do it at a speed that is manageable. We don't get points for playing things harder than we can pull off.
Well, I appreciate that, and I felt that I was sort of stupid in taking that piece because I didn't look at the piece to make sure. But if I could even, I wasn't aware of the changes.
Mm,
I wasn't aware. That's okay. That's all right. I'm learning, and I'm excited about that.
mm, mm.
I mean, that's what I love. I love your teaching. I love your philosophy and your psychology when you work with people.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, you're welcome, and I mean every minute of it. I mean, it's helped me more than you know. And so, anyway, what do you want to do?
Good. I'm going to send this something to you very quickly. So there's 4 stages of learning, which you might be familiar with, but because you just touched on the nail on the head very briefly there. So you've got unconscious incompetence. That's the first level. So you are unaware of the skill and your lack of proficiency. Unconscious incompetence. Second stage is conscious incompetence. So you're aware of your lack of skill, but you're not yet proficient. Then there's conscious competence. You are able to use the skill, but only with effort. So you're aware of your competence, but it's not an automatic yet, right? And then the last level is unconscious competence. So performing the skill becomes automatic. All right.
So, with those 4. Where am I?
Well, it depends. It depends on what area of learning you're talking about. So you just noted before that you were unaware of the time changes. So there's so much information on the page that you just weren't able to take it all in, right? And so
that's because I didn't look at it at first. I didn't study it at first. Okay.
Well, that I don't think that counts as my point. So you're unaware of the things to be looking for.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's just so much information. And what's interesting. So you've got this graph that goes up like this in your competency, and so you don't know what you don't know. You know what you don't know, and then what's the next one? I don't know. It keeps going up like that, right? Anyway, what's interesting is that often the level of confidence tracks like this. So you're very highly confident when you're unaware of how much you don't know. And as you learn more and you become aware of how much you don't know and how much of your skill there is still yet to grow, your confidence comes down. So even though you're getting better, your confidence comes down because you're becoming aware of the gap between where you are and where you could be. All right? And then gradually the confidence comes back up.
I think of that as more of not going down, but on a stable, like a plateau.
Right.
Type of thing.
Yeah, but it's just interesting things to be aware of. So
yeah, well,
the stages of learning they apply to every skill, every area of learning. It's just good to be aware of, so that you can observe it in yourself and in your art students as well. It'd be from a teacher's perspective. It's really fascinating to. Often you get kids who will argue back because they just don't know. They don't know enough to believe you. Essentially,
well,
it's interesting. All right, let's get into some play.
Yeah, I think I've done that a few times in the beginning. I think. Okay, yes. What do you want to do?
All right. Very fine. Hey, I want to suggest to you. This is a breath builder. They're not very expensive. It was like $30 in New Zealand. I don't know what it would be for you, but it's got a little ping pong ball in it. I might have shown this to you before. The goal, I blow in this end and I breathe in and out through my mouth through the straw. And the goal is to keep the ball at the top and to have it not fluctuate. So you're building a smooth breath.
Oh, yeah, right.
So watch.
Yeah.
Most people, when they start out, it's
Mm-hmm.
if it moves at
Yeah,
all.
what's it called?
Breath builder. Worth looking into.
Mm,
Worth looking into. Um, it's got a few different holes in the top. I don't know if you can see those three.
yeah.
1, 2, 3. So you can block that off and get more or less resistance. And even just, I'm just going to take, so this is on an in-breath. That's like mastery of the breath builder. If you can get it up in a breath, on an in-breath, not just an exhale. Worth exploring. There's so many of the horn adjacent skills that we can train away from the instrument that will reap huge rewards when it comes to actually playing the darn thing. Yeah, cool. Here's a middle C. Nice full sound. Good. Using our lips, let's try and do some note bends.
Hold on, wait a minute.
Very fine. You did the bend, but it was like a little. You shied away from it. It sounded like just go and really linger in that lower note.
Beg your pardon, do what?
Really linger on that lower note that you bend to. Hold it. Good. That's it. That's it. It feels uncomfortable, right? The horn doesn't want to play there.
Me.
No, but the horn doesn't want to play there, right? So it requires extra strength and extra intention to hold it in that space, and I think that really helps in building up these corner muscles and your embouchure as well. So let's see if we can do a whole tone now. Yep, go ahead. Question, observation?
No, go ahead.
No, okay. C to B flat, just lips. Very fine. Very, very fine. I like that a lot. See if we can build that together. So half step and then a whole step. Listen. Nice. I heard two bends. The second bend was the same as the first one, though. See if you can go even further. And if you change to the next note, if a G pops out, that is totally fine. We're just finding the limits of that bend. Once more. It's going very well, by the way. When you listen back, it's the same note that you're bending to. You're going C, B, C, B, C.
So I'm not getting the B.
You're not getting the B flat. You're not getting a B flat. I want you to go lower for the second one. And you did it before. When you did it in isolation, you bent far enough. So you can do it. Just making sure you go further. And lower. Boo. Yeah.
No.
No. Not yet.
Yeah,
Can you play? Listen. Let's play this. And I want you to use the valve to go to a B flat. Like that. Yeah, and that's once you've emptied, the progression would be finger the note and then bend to the same pitch. What are you looking for? Spit cloth?
Wait a minute, I've got blurpy problems here.
You do.
Thank you very much, Alex. I so appreciate that.
And look, it happens to people as they get older. It's okay.
Not me, the horn.
Ah. What's a relief?
Yeah.
Might
Don't
have put
know.
that down as too much information. I have a handy
Okay.
dandy spit bucket with a bag and a whole bunch and a lot of paper towels.
Yeah, I can imagine.
The
Yeah.
joy of a brass studio is that you have a lot of burpy instruments. And if we did it
Well,
on the
yeah.
carpet, it would be gross. All right, let's do some low range flexibility. So here's C down to a G. So we're just expanding that same bending mechanism that we were doing, and now we're changing to the next note on purpose. All on the F side. Very fine, very, very fine. Can you? I'm not quite sure if you're doing it or not. Is your chin moving for it? I would like to see ooh ah ooh ah ooh
Let me
ah
say.
for
Let me
that.
do it again, Alex.
Yep.
Yeah, it is.
Ah, good. So that version, I think perhaps you accentuated the movement and the
No.
quality. Maybe it was just a second attempt. The quality of that second version ooh, ah, had a much more resonant sound for that low
Well, I
note.
mean, when you get lower, aren't you supposed to drop your?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am, you are. Yes, ma'am, you are. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people really struggle with flexibility in that register, so good for you. Let's go
Thank you.
downwards. First finger, same interval, same pattern. First finger. Two and three.
Well,
Mm. So really drop the jaw for this one, especially for the
yeah,
first note. So already start open.
that's
Ah,
better.
good. That's better. Yeah.
I'm okay. Any criticism though? Obviously, I'm not getting down there.
Hmm.
In your opinion?
No, you're getting the pitches. Do you mean pitch wise or with the jaw?
Well, I don't know. Let me hear. Let me hear. Now is what two?
Two and three.
Which one?
Two and
Two and
three.
three. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah. Those are the right
it's
pitches. You're accurate.
okay.
Mm. So just for context, for your awareness, when we first started this exercise on C and G, we actively dropped our jaw for that low G, correct? All right. This version that we're starting on 2 and 3, the first note is an A flat, which is only a semitone higher than that
Mm-hmm.
first G we got down to. So to start with, you already have to have an open mouth. All right. And then we go even lower from there. So you have to accentuate even more, exaggerate even more that movement. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If I do
So I
mine from
wasn't.
side on, just observe. So here's C to G. Is my chin moving? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Cool. Here, I'm going to start on the A flat. I'm already in that position.
Yeah. It's not moving as much.
It's not as much because I'm already open.
Right in that position.
Yeah. So I
Okay.
feel like it's probably not as you go lower, your jaw gets more and more and more and more open because there's a limit to how much you can drop your jaw and still have the lips within the mouthpiece. All right. But for the low register, which usually for me, my low embouchure, right? People talk about having high chops and low chops. My low chops
Mm-hmm.
kick in usually about a middle C. That's my break. I can play a little bit above middle C on my low chops and a little bit below middle C on my high chops. But there's a definite break in my embouchure where I have to switch.
Hmm.
right? And so for the low embouchure, for my low chops, I just the whole time, like that. And sure, there's micro movements within that, but it is subtle. You are right. Huh? Cool. So let's just try that again and see if you can't start with just a little bit of an or vowel already.
Oh, it makes a difference.
Good. Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. Now, because you were thinking about that, the air was a little bit pathetic. So just making
Wasn't the
sure that you're
greatest.
blowing at the same time. Mm. Yeah, good. That's it. That's it. Now, really, I'm nitpicking, but you're so close to having a real quality sound down there. So let's insist. Um, the support to move the air through it is currently missing, I think, as well. Just making sure that it's a very intentional, energized airstream. And really continuously moving. Huh? So
You
that
want
it,
me to do it again?
yes, please.
You mean it's other? In other words, it's too intimate. It's
Intimate,
not.
probably. It's just a little bit unsupported. It doesn't feel like it hasn't got the full rich sound that I desire in the low register. I don't need you to play to blast it. I just need it to have a real dense,
Hmm.
constant sound.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
now
won't
could you?
stick in it too long, but as an exercise, can you go and really linger on that low note and fatten it up? Open the jaw. That's it. That's it. That's much
Yeah.
closer. Still a little bit wobbly. I would encourage you to spend a
It's
lot of time sustaining notes in the low register because it uses so much air. Just an absolute truckload. It's like, God, I'm empty, right? So
yeah.
to be able to sustain notes with some, not volume, but presence is a real skill. And if you can manage that, then gee whiz, you're going to have some pretty excellent brass control. Okay, cool. Let's go higher. 2 and 3 on the F side. Find this A flat. Good.
Well.
Would you like to try again?
All right. Now, Alex, that's the one thing I agree with you on one point. This instrument is very slippery.
It is. Yeah, yeah.
There's such a hybrid of notes on this thing
Yep.
that even just a little bit, you go to something else.
Yeah, good. So I don't mind
So,
that you're missing it in the short term, Esther. I don't mind that you're missing it. I really don't. The sound that you missed it with was beautiful. Yeah, which to my mind is a far more challenging thing to achieve than being accurate.
well, I have to get better at it, though, Alex. I mean, we both agree to that.
I don't deny it. I don't deny it. But
But when I first started with you, I couldn't even do that. So
no, that's right. You were missing it, and it was ugly. So I'd say we've made pretty excellent progress.
we have indeed.
Now, let's make sure we learn from it. The only failure is failure to learn. So let's just analyze the experience. What happened? You tried to play a note. Did you hit it or did you miss it?
Gosh, it went by so quickly.
You missed it. You missed it. That's why we're having this conversation, because there was inaccuracy and that was frustrating you. Did you miss it from above or below? You missed it from below. Now, what does that tell us? How do we need to adjust in
Well,
order to play
we need to
higher?
adjust. We need to adjust the embouchure in the air.
How so? Be specific. What do we need to do to the embouchure?
tighten it a little bit,
Yes,
but
absolutely.
not
What
too
about that?
much.
Not too much. Well, you could adjust too far in the other direction. Again, that's just information. True.
Yeah.
So what about the air? So we tighten the lips. What else
We
do we
have
do
to
with the
have
air?
a better breath for one
What is that?
thing.
What? Okay, a better breath, and then what? What do you do with that breath? So you've taken a breath in, you've inhaled. What's next? What's the other half of the inhale equation? Blow. You blow, you doofus. Okay, what? How do you blow? So we've tightened the embouchure, we're taking a big breath. What do we do with all that air when we blow? Do we want less air or more air?
We put more air out.
Yes, okay, so tighten the lips, take a big breath, and blow with more energy, and we'll see if that provides a higher note for us. So here's what you're aiming for. Okay, so that was a lot of notes. Try not to adjust when you play.
That's
Good. So just listen, just listen, just listen. So when you run an experiment in science, you have a set of parameters and you try to remove all the variables, and what you definitely don't do is change the variables during the experiment. You go, this is my plan, then you run the experiment, and then you analyze at the end. Well, you'll do it. You went, yeah. And there was like 10 different experiments with a whole bunch of different variables. It's impossible to learn from that. So you get one attack, no rearticulations, and either it is the note we're aiming for or it's not. And that's fine. We're just getting our eye in, right? We are working, we're zeroing in on that note. Okay, so one attack, and then we judge it.
Come on.
Cool, that was 2 attacks. The second one doesn't count. The first one was much too low. What do we need to do? We need to tighten our lips. Cool, so that was still missed from below. Did you notice? You went, doo-ah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So can you go like this for me a few times? Just spit out the air. I want you to go with the tongue. Good. And slow it down just a little bit. So that's excellent airflow, but I'm seeing it comes together as you release the air. So I want 3 steps. Breathe, squeeze, blow.
Oh, that's one thing I have to work on, Alex. I'm afraid.
Fine. Excellent. Don't be afraid, Esther. I won't hurt you. Let's work on it now. So breathe,
I'm not
squeeze, blow.
No.
Breathe,
I'm not afraid
squeeze,
of him.
blow. I'm teasing you. Breathe, squeeze, blow. Slow that down. So breathe, then squeeze, then blow. That's it. That's it. So that process ensures that our lips are together and very likely already in position when we release the air. Can we do that same process? I don't want you to play any notes. We're just holding the mouthpiece near our lips. We're doing the same thing. So observe. I'm going to breathe, I'm going to squeeze, I'm going to blow. Can you do that 3 times for me? Hold it up to your face. Don't play any notes. Okay, good. Try and play that note with the same idea. Have it on your face. You breathe, you shut your mouth, and you blow. Ah, what a great experiment that was. It was the best experiment you've done so far today. Right? Why was it a good experiment? Because you just ran and then we stopped. What did we learn? We learned that it was too low. Right? And so our lips were too far apart. So when you squeeze, just have a little extra support here, and most likely from the belly as well. Your turn. Same idea. Breathe.
Still an A flat.
Blow. Breathe.
Huh?
Squeeze. Blow. Yes, ma'am. A flat. Breathe. Squeeze. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, it does help. Yeah.
Spot on. Now, here's the
I
thing.
agree.
Here's the thing, my friend. One repetition does not a habit make.
That's true.
Okay? So, we talk about habits a lot in my lessons because that's what drives our French horn playing. You talk about unconscious competence, automatic mastery of a skill, that sounds like a habit to me, right? It's not just the habits on our horn that I want you to be aware of and to focus on developing. It is the habits you have around how you practice that I would argue are even more important in skill development. Okay, so when we were engaging with this just one note, very very frequently in each of your attempts, you went do da 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 to find it,
Yeah.
right? And it's like the equivalent of if you're playing golf or whatever, you hit it and then you chase after the ball as it's still rolling and trying to guide it like you're playing hockey or something. And that's not how it works, right? You just have to, you have your, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do X, Y, Z, and then you execute and then you analyze after, no adjusting, right? If we do those adjustments, we fail to give ourselves the opportunity to discover what the results of the experiment were. Okay.
Okay. But apparently, I've been not doing that correctly, or you wouldn't have brought this up.
Doing what correctly?
Well, even in my playing.
Yeah. No,
I
be
haven't
specific.
followed that.
Doing what correctly?
What you were just describing.
Yeah, but I described a lot of things. Do you mean in regards to how you're practicing, in regards to the technique we're working on?
Taking a breath and take a breath and close your
breathe, squeeze, blow. Yeah, breathe, squeeze, blow.
I've tried, but
yeah,
obviously I've not done it.
Well, don't berate yourself for it, mate. Let's circle back to the stages of learning. Of unconscious incompetence, we are working towards conscious incompetence. You're aware of all that you don't know now, and it can be a daunting experience.
Well, it's not really a daunting thing to me. It's it's just like the belly stuff. I've been using a lot of that.
Yeah.
I've noticing, and it's just something that when I pick up, after this lesson when I go out and practice, I review the lesson material, and I go, yeah, that's what I need to work on.
Cool.
And so I work on that. Or I definitely try.
I believe it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be making the progress you're making. So, just
right.
Specifically the mechanism, I'd really encourage you to be engaging with every register. Every time you're starting a note is that breathe, squeeze, blow. It makes it very challenging to miss notes. And if we do miss the notes, at least we're still reinforcing the desired mechanism.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'll work on that because it's important to do that.
It is. It's just about coordination. That's what we're working on. So if you've got some rhythm to how you're engaging with the instrument,
okay.
Right, all of a sudden it's not. It could be any time. It could be totally random when you start a note. It's like, no, it's now. Right, and so rhythm is the great coordinator. I'm a firm believer in that. The other thing I'd really encourage you to work on is just to allow yourself to execute without readjusting, without going, oh, it was wrong. It's like, no, it's not wrong. It's just a little bit uncoordinated. What are the things that I need to adjust before I do the move that will help it? That's the main one, the real big thing for you from this lesson, I think. Yeah, good. All right, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's expand into the high register. 2 and 3, A flat, breathe, squeeze, blow. I don't mind if it's inaccurate. I do mind if you re-articulate after you've missed it, if you miss it. Nice full sound. Good. What a cacophony. I love that. It opened up over the course of what you played. The first one sounded a little bit choked, but then you adjusted. So see if you can't start with the free-flowing air. Breathe, squeeze, blow. So that, I saw 2 steps. I saw breathe, blow. We're missing that middle crucial shut your mouth before you play step.
Oh, thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. I had a very kind teacher in massive quotation marks used to say, "Shut your mouth, Alex," and I'm almost certain he was talking about my embouchure. I'm not sure.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry.
So what I'm seeing from you currently, still, which is fair enough because I am challenging your established habit. You're going, and that's remarkably challenging to coordinate. All right, so all I want you to do is just introduce a slight moment of pause before you release the air with the lips together. That's all. All right, great. And then still release the air like you mean it. But that was good. You did breathe, squeeze, blow. I'm impressed.
Well, I mean, I see what you're saying. I just have to break that.
Well, you have to establish a new habit, is all. Do you have a tennis ball at home or a ball for your dogs or something like that?
No, why?
Okay, get one or something, even just a ball of paper, something that you can throw up in the air. Smooth, my friend. When you throw a ball up in the air, the arc it describes, I'll move back so you can see it, right? There's 3 stages to the ball's trajectory. It goes up, that's 1. At the top, it has a little moment of weightlessness before gravity takes over and it falls down. That's 2. And then it drops, and that's 3. 1, 2, 3. What does that remind you of? Breathe, squeeze, blow. So when I throw it up in the air, I take a breath. When it reaches the top of its arc, I close my mouth. And when I catch it, I release the air. I can do a little one. Do a big one. All right. Between you and Bill, find yourself something you can throw up in the air and practice timing your breath with those 3 stages of the ball's trajectory that I described. So up, breathe in at the top. When it stops, close your mouth. When I catch it, release the air. Does that make sense? All right. So again, we're talking about things we can practice away from the horn that will have a massive effect on our ability to play the damn thing. This is one of them. Can you see the ball?
Yeah.
So try and do it with me. I have to ignore what I'm hearing because it's delayed, but cool. When you watch it back, just those ones you did, you will see that you're still going.
No,
I'm watching you, Esther, and I can see it. So if you observe me, there's a very distinct 3 stages. You're going. So yes, you're closing your mouth.
Do it again, Alex.
That was a good one. That last one you just did, that was a good one. It was distinct. There was a pause before you released the air. All right, so that's a very new skill. Chances are you're not going to be able to do it on the French horn yet. That's fine. We accept that. We're going to move on. But it's something I want you to engage with. You don't have to go buy a ball. Just screw up a bit of paper, and it will have the same effect.
Okay? Paper.
Yeah.
Well, I could throw Bill in the air.
As long as you catch him. But I take no responsibility for any damage caused. Okay. If you can, put on the top octave at the end. Go. 2 and 3.
Which?
A flat. Good, and a high one. Go for the high note. Squeeze your belly.
I'm too conscious of what I'm physically doing. I'm what?
I'm just acknowledging that you said something. Waiting for you to finish the thought.
Yeah. I have to work on my ball. I could throw up anything. The dog, box of paper, that would work.
Quick.
Okay, get you.
You got this. You got this. Focus, Esther. In the zone.
Smile. Okay, I don't. I'm sorry.
Focus.
I'm sorry, Alex. You started this ball tossing up in the air, but I think I think it's a good idea. Okay.
Good. You're one note away from a high A flat. Just then.
Yeah, A flat tends to mono.
Good. Let's go up. Let's go 1 and 2.
Come on, darn it all.
1 and 2. Play me an A on the F side. Nice full sound. No re-articulating. Allow it to be wrong.
Uh-oh, just blow it?
Yep. Good. So now we can learn. There's a beautiful sound. Now we know, we can observe that it was slightly too open when you released the air.
Right, yeah.
Is what happened, right?
So what, yeah. So just, because okay, yeah.
That's all. Try again.
Yeah.
Spot on, Esther. Spot on.
Yeah.
It's amazing how easy it is when you give yourself every chance of success. Okay, cool. We're going to move the goalposts. That's your starting note. Do, with the same quality, the same insistency. Take that sound into the high register. Good. Do one more just like that and really shoot it up as high as you can. And what allows us to ascend? More air, tighter lips. That's all. That's all you have to do. If your lips are already relatively tight because you've started a note accurately, and really go for it. High octave somewhere over the rainbow. That's what you're after.
Nah. That wasn't good. Wait a minute, Alex.
Ooh, fractionally off. First finger.
Yeah.
Close your mouth before you release the air. Oh, very close. So actually, to be fair, just let's observe what happened. Let's analyze it. You started accurately, and then you missed it. You went doo and came back to a B flat and went away from it and came back again. Right. So still some inaccuracy, but you started the note well. So what does that tell us? That's a new thing to analyze. What happened there, Esther?
Same thing we talked about before.
Which is what?
Take a breath in, close the lips, and blow. Just
not
simple.
Solution. So yes, you've skipped a step. Now you're on the solution, but there was an undesirable event. You went. You started the right note, but then you moved away from it. That's still an inaccuracy. I want you just to sustain a B flat. So why did that happen? Why did the note change after you'd started it?
Okay, Horn, why did that happen? I didn't have the slightest idea, Alex.
Great, I love that answer.
I thought you would. That's the only thing I can tell you is that my lips were not in position to get that B flat as they could have been from what you've been telling me before.
Possibly.
And this is
something changed. That's all. Something changed. So either your lips or your air, there was an inconsistency.
Probably a little bit of both.
Yeah, probably a little both, as per usual. So sustaining notes, and just be able to go do is a very important skill, because at the moment you're going do, and there was a little something, a little bit of turbulence, and that affected it. So it's not a big deal. I don't want to get locked into this, but starting the note accurately and remaining within the note is all part of the sphere of accuracy. Okay? So it's not just starting the note on the right one, it's remaining on the right note. And the solution is just once you've got it, don't change anything. Okay?
Ah, Esther.
Ah, big change. Well done.
No, yeah, well done. Yeah, bad me. Not the best.
Beautiful. That was a beautiful inaccuracy. You missed it slightly from above, but it was a gorgeous sound.
Ah,
And that was from below. So remember, continuous air. Better, better. So the airflow is stunning. It's really, really a beautiful noise that you're making. Still slightly missed from below, so the lips, I think, are just not quite together when you're releasing the air. But that's enough of that.
well,
I would like to hear the Send in the Clowns moments you were going to play for me.
good. Hey, just a minute. Where are we gonna do it? Where are we gonna do a duet?
No,
No.
I'm just waiting for you.
Okay, just a minute. I have two different books. Alex.
Yeah? What's up?
Alright. That's not what I wanted. Okay.
Are you starting from the beginning?
Yeah, well, that's
Okay.
what you wanted, was it not?
Yep, absolutely. Just notice mezzo piano.
I know, that's why I stopped and said, whoops.
Good.
Okay?
Good work. All right. Have you emptied your horn?
Just a minute.
It's all right. More than
You
happy
don't have-
for you to. More than happy for you to run it, but just like you have so many skills, Esther. You're a very talented lady with a breadth of experience, right? You flew planes. That's massive. What do you do when you're starting a flight? Do you just get in and go? No, there's all sorts of pre-flight checks that you go through to ensure that you're ready to take off before you do so, correct?
Sure.
Sure. So French horn's the same. French horn's the same. You don't want to go falling out of the sky when you're flying, and you don't want to have a bunch of gurgles in your instrument halfway through a beautiful piece. It's very distracting, right? So we're just making sure
Well,
we're ready to go before we go. So the horn is empty, and I've just spent even just a couple of moments. There's no rush. Just spend a little bit of time looking at the music, thinking about the mood, thinking about the things you need to concentrate on before you go for it, yeah? So you don't want to take 10 minutes, but like, no rush. Have you seen Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I have.
Treebeard is the Ent in Lord of the Rings, and he's got a line. He goes, "Don't be hasty, young hobbit."
Yeah, we got the tape.
It's a good one.
Did you get, while we're waiting, you got my message that I sent you that?
I did. Yes, and I'll be sending you a CD in the mail. I'll go to the post office and I'll post it to you, and then once I know how much that costs, I'll send you the receipt for the postage as well.
Okay.
Cool. All right. When you're ready, send in the clowns.
All right, now how much of this did you want? Did you want me to play?
Well, there was just a couple of bars that were giving you grief, weren't there? Wasn't the whole thing. A lot of it's going really well. So you let me know. If you want to do the whole thing, you're allowed to do the whole thing. If you only want to do the trouble spots, the sticky notes, that's also fine. Just let me know. Like verbally, tell me where you're going from, is what I mean when I say let me know.
Well, don't break my concentration.
What if you start at the last line of the first page at the mezzo piano? Yada yadi, da yada dee.
No, I was going to start from the beginning, Alex,
Okay, go for it.
and go to measure. What is it? Oh, these measures drives me crazy half the time. Go to measure 6 and then drop down and do the other one that we had, those other two measures.
Oh yeah, why don't you start then? Why don't you just start straight on measure 7 from the mezzo forte, because it's the same material. It takes you up high, and then you can continue into the next section. Does that work?
Not sure.
Go for it.
Yeah, but it's not the same. It's not the same mezzo piano, I'm afraid.
That's okay. It still has a mezzo piano in it, so you'll still be demonstrating contrast of dynamics a couple of bars later.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just
go for it. So make sure you highlight it, especially. Lots of contrast. Go for it.
Well, this is mezzo forte on this second part, then, Alex.
Yes, ma'am. I'm aware.
Okay. Okay.
That's right. Ooh.
No. Hang on just a minute.
Yep. No stress.
Sure. Hang on.
Take a second.
Nah.
Take a second. Take a second. One moment. There's just a few errant fingers going on there.
Yeah, I noticed. I'm going to start again. I'm going to start again on that phrase, Alex.
Okay, go for it.
No, I can't seem to get anything right anymore.
That is objectively untrue, Esther. I need you to put a pin in that woe is me thinking. Unhelpful and inaccurate. You're getting many things right. You're getting many things right. Just confidence.
There we go.
Carry on. Carry on. From the next beat.
I didn't think you wanted me to do that.
Okay.
You just told me just 15.
All right, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. If that's what I said, that's what I said. Can you please play that same 2 odd bars again from the forte? Because it's going well. We're finding some accuracy. I like that. But it was a little bit... Can you find some sonority to it?
Well, what did you think of the other part that I did?
It was fine. It was nice. I put a little tick next to the mezzo piano because it was softer. Yeah?
Well, I played it. Well, I tried to play it softer. Alex.
Yes, I know. That's why I gave it a tick.
Okay.
Like does that translate to Americans? One of these tick, as opposed to
check. It sounded like a tick, and I thought, what?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. T-I-C-K. If you tick something, it's good.
With America, it's check.
Well, I speak
CH.
English.
Oh, well, let's not start that, Josh.
Your turn.
Okay,
Can you
you
go?
want me?
Can you go from the forte, please? Ya bi pa pa da da dee, ya da da ya da da.
Ah, come on. Oh, no.
Nice. Can you find
But
me
wait a
an
minute, no,
E?
wait a minute,
No,
hang
stop.
on.
Stop, 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 stop. 1 second. Can you just play me an E? Can you go boo and hold it?
Oh, what type of E?
Very fine. That's a fine sound. Now I'd like you to just go ta da 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 on an E. Just a couple of rearticulations.
Ah, no. Ah.
Nice big breath, Esther. Nice big breath. And then breathe, squeeze, blow. You can do this. So thumb and two. This is the fingering. Thumb and two. So put
Right,
those
no,
down
I
now.
have that, yeah.
Well, your fingers are doing weird things. So put thumb and two down and don't move them. Thumb and two. And then have the horn up to your
I
face.
have thumb and two.
Very good. Keep your horn on your face. And then you can take a nice big breath, and then you're going to do multiple E's. Do, do, do. Beautiful, beautiful. That's it. Okay, stop. So within that phrase that you're playing, ba be ba ba da 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 da, that section, one of the techniques you have to be able to do is just go E E E. 1, 2, 3 E's in a row. All right? Can you just try that for me now? Da da da. So that's revealing, isn't it? Isn't it? So within that, just the technique of being able to re-articulate single notes in the high register, yours are a little bit turbulent. Do you notice that when you're playing the note, it keeps changing note, even though you've got the fingers down? Have you noticed that, Esther?
Well,
No, I'm just asking if you're aware of the fact that it's happening. That's all I'm asking. Have you noticed it?
It might be a little on the wavery side, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what's you're actually changing notes. So just like when we're doing mid-range flexibility when we started this lesson, you're changing between notes with our lips. We did that on purpose. That's the equivalent of what's happening here. You're going. And every time you change your tongue, it's going to the higher note. Right? So it's not wavery, it's changing note. Wavery would be this. You're going. And we're getting that note from above. Right? I'm just raising your awareness of it. So what we want, and it is challenging, so don't be disheartened, is just.
No, I know. Okay. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, it tries to change. Yes.
Good. I'm glad you're aware of it. So it's a very extraordinarily precarious register of the instrument, where the slightest change in the conditions of how you're producing it will change the notes. Okay? So really, really consciously, and a good way to practice this is to take your mouthpiece and keep the airflow as seamless as possible, even though we're articulating. And do you hear me articulating? I'm going ta, ta, ta. Do you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah? Do the same. Good. That's very fine. That's very, very fine. So it's nice and seamless and no turbulence. There's no bumpies. All right? So when you play those E's, do, 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 try and relate it to what you just established through the back of the mouthpiece. The same nice relaxed airflow. One of them was good. There you go, Esther. There you go. That's it. That's lovely. That's lovely. So part of what's making that phrase so challenging for you, one, it's in the high register, so it's very precarious. It's really easy to miss notes, right? And
Well,
that little bit of turbulence in your technique was that even if you had the right fingers down, you were still going da 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 da, which makes it into a very different piece of music. And so you could be going, oh man, have I got the wrong fingers down? What am I doing? It's like, no, we're just making sure we're playing only the right notes. Yeah, cool. And same thing for the F. It's the same technique. E E E. F, F, F. You've got 3 Fs in a row here, and you have to articulate 2 of them, making sure that we're not clipping those notes. So for you, I'd be practicing.
yeah, it's a very.
Yeah. So within that phrase, there's so many little micro skills that we have to be able to do. And I would, not just for this specific phrase, but for every phrase we're doing, try and isolate what are the skills that I need to be able to do. Practice them independently. So that when you get to this, you just, yep, cool, this is how the music goes, and those skills are automatic to have it. Right? Cool. Nice. But you did a fine job of working on it over the past week. I've got a few more minutes. Can you play me tonight? Today?
Do my best.
So which bit? Is it the whole thing? Is that the plan?
Well, the first part, the first line is pretty good. I mean, in the past, you've really liked that first line.
Yep. Good.
I've done the first line. The second line is where it gets. I call it finger acrobatics. I mean, it's not really that bad, but it's just. And I've been trying very hard because again, you have the high notes there, Alex. And in this case, it's an E flat, not an E. Which well, the other one was an E flat too, Esther. Anyway, then it gets okay. Let's go ahead. Let me see.
Where are you
Okay,
starting?
I'm gonna pick. Pardon?
Where are you going to start? Where are you going to pick up from?
I'm gonna pick up a number on the 8.
Okay.
Well, actually, it should be. It should have a pickup note there.
That's all right.
I might not even be right. I've been trying very hard to get this thing right.
That's okay.
And I've been losing my mind over it. I mean,
so the intervals is very, very close. It's a semitone. It's as close as you can get within a 12-tone system. C, D flat. So you are trying too hard. You played too high when you put your fingers down.
no, because it should be. That would be C sharp.
Correct. Yeah. That's right. They're right next door to each other. On a piano, there's nothing in between.
The what?
On a piano, there's no notes in between. They're right next to each other. So you put the right fingers down. Like if you played a C and a C sharp on the piano, there's no other keys in between, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Is that better?
That was spot on, my friend. It was perfect. Pause. We're getting lost. Can you sing it for me, Esther? Can you sing those notes? Da ya. Ya. Are you a soprano or are you an alto? Are you a soprano?
I'm a soprano.
Okay. Ya. Good.
Yeah, but then and then we go down to.
Stop. It's fine. The technique for good horn playing applies to singing as well. Take a good breath, squeeze your belly. La. Your turn. That's too high, Esther. Ya. Can you sing in your how you normally speak? Ya. Lower. So you're right up here. You're going ya, and that's way too high. We don't need to sing up right up in the stratosphere. Yes, you're a soprano, but you absolutely have one octave lower. La. La. Find it. Can you go like this? Yeah, as low as you can. Ooh. There you go. Terrific. Oh, there you go. You have a low note. Sing that again. Oh.
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 Ah, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. No need to feel self-conscious, right? Feel self-conscious.
I'm not. I'm just highly amused, Alex. That's
good. So that was a beautiful sound. Yeah. Sing that for me.
Yeah.
Beautiful. La la.
La la.
Excellent pitching. So it goes yada yada. Can you sing that? Yada yada.
Yada.
Don't go up high. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But breathe big and sound big. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Breathe, Esther. Take a big breath and project it, my friend.
Yeah.
Nice big breath.
Yeah.
That's it. There you go. You had it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. So for you, hearing the pitches is a big part of it. You're putting the right valves down, but you're on all the wrong partials of the instrument. Do you know what I mean by partial?
Figures.
Do you know what I mean when I say the word partial?
Yes.
What do I mean? So a partial is just one of the naturally occurring notes of the instrument. So if I play all on the F side, right, those are all the harmonic series, right? Just notes that are available with the lips alone on one single length of tuning. Each one of those steps is a partial. It's called a partial.
Oh,
right?
okay. Well,
so if you've got the right fingers down, but you've got the wrong note coming out, that's because you're on the wrong partial. You're on the wrong step of that ladder.
Oh, great.
Okay, so we got, and that was beautiful, but then you went, you put first finger down to play the E flat, the fourth note that you played, but out came a G, because you can play a G on thumb and one, just to really confuse things, which is the wrong partial, and because that note was too high, the next subsequent notes of the phrase were all too high. So it sounded tonight, da 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 dee da da, and it had all the right shapes, but we're in the wrong spot. So here's an E flat. Can you play me this note? E flat, nice and low. Beautiful, gorgeous sound. So this is the E flat I'm playing in bar 8, 9, measure 10. All right, that's the E flat I'm playing. Let's back up one note. Can you play F, E flat? Good. And we're just going to keep backing up. Now here's a D flat to start on. You see, you did it again. You did it again. It went da, F, G. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Good, great. Don't accept it. That's wrong. You're allowed to play wrong notes. That's fine. The shape of the music must be observed, though. If it goes ba ya and you're going ba wa, that's just we're lost. We're lost.
Okay. Okay.
You're recomposing, and Bernstein did a fine job with this. We don't need to recompose it. So, can you play those three notes again from the D flat? Great. Add one more note. C, D flat.
Um,
Beautiful, Esther. So gooey and delightful. Right. I would
thank you.
then carry on to say the F, the high F in measure 13. Can you play that note? Can you go F?
Come on.
Really go for it with some volume. One of these. Watch. Blow that air through. Nice. Good. Okay. Then the same approach applies. We're just going to back up one note and go into it. E flat, F. Right.
Oh, okay.
So we started in the F in bar 13, and then we got it, so now we're going to go one further back. E flat, F, doo, wah.
Hey, where are you on?
Measure 13, there's an F, a high F. Do you see it?
Oh, the high F down.
Yeah. And now we've done that already. You played a high F and it was beautiful. Now I want you to play the previous note into that F. Doo, wah.
Which is a D flat.
E flat, E for echo.
Oh, after the F. I'm sorry.
No. We're going backwards. So F, let's just look at me. Let's call that F number 5. That F is number 5, right? We're going 5, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5. All right, and we're just working back one into that same spot every time. So instead of working forwards through the music, we're starting at the end of a phrase, and we're just going back into it further
So
and
you're
further.
talking about the.
So the high F in measure 13, you know what I'm talking about? Great. We're then going to go backwards one note and start from there.
Which is D flat.
No, it's not. You're going forwards in the music. There's 2 Fs in that bar. I want the first one.
Oh. But you were talking about high Fs, and there's only. That's okay. I'm a little bit puzzled, but that's okay.
I know. I'm going to share my screen with you so you can see what on earth I'm talking about.
Well, you've got 3 Fs on that line. You've got a little one and you've got 2 big ones.
Indeed.
Okay. And I had at least I could get up there. I could get
Yes,
to
you
F
could.
sharp.
I don't dismiss that. Absolutely not. Cool. No. Oh, sorry. Beg your pardon. One moment. Screen mirroring. MacBook Air. Cool. We're connected. Here's my iPad. Let's get rid of all the stuff. 1 second.
Oh, good heavens.
Here's tonight. Here's the music
Somebody
we're
else
looking
must
at.
be working on that too.
Here we are. Look, in bar 14. So we're starting in this bar here. Are you with me? Measure 13. Cool. Say yes. Affirmative.
Yeah, I see that.
Affirmative.
Oh.
Terrific. We're starting on this F.
Well, that's what I said. It was an
Good.
E flat before the F, and you said no.
You said I heard D flat.
Well,
So you're going to
there
play,
is a
let's call
there is
this
a D
note 5.
there was a
And
D
then
flat in the other one, Alex.
that's fine. So we're going to play 5, and then you're going to go 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4,
Ah,
5, and
jeepers.
we're going to keep backing up. Where did we get to? Until we get to here, essentially. All right? Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
the previous 4 notes we played were these 4 here, and we did the same approach. We went 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? And once you can do that section, and you can do this section, then you join them together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Good, terrific. I can't sit here and do that with you now, but I'm going to play the progression leading into this F, so you've got a record of it, and so that it's clear for you when you practice. And I'm going to do that same thing. It's going to be 5, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Clear as mud. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the progression. Okay? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Good. When I do it, I'm far faster about it than I would encourage you to be doing. For you, I'd be thinking, okay, here's an F, that's the fingering. Da! And then you try and execute. And then you go through the process of going, was I accurate? Was I too high? Was I too low? Did I do the breeze squeeze blow? Once you've got a good F, terrific. Add one more note. Think about the same process. It's an E flat and then an F. If I can't hear it in the high register, do it an octave lower so that you can hear the pitches. Okay? And once you're confident of the pitches, then you put it up the octave so you can get a sense for how it feels as well. Cool. Okie doke, groovy. I have to go, Esther. And I've got a small window in which I can go to the gym before my next student, but very fine lesson today. Yeah?
Well, thank you.
Good. I'll send you this recording. It might not be. It will. I'll send it through later today. I think I have to take my phone and run. But otherwise, really excellent work. We'll see you in a fortnight.
Okay.
Groovy.
I sure will. Yeah.
Excellent.
Which will be 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I would say don't worry about this piece anymore unless you desperately want to. I think focus on girl with the flaxen hair. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well.
Yeah. It's the challenges in this I think are mostly because the habits you established around it in your practice were established as a worse horn player. And I think part of the conflict that you're facing is that you've advanced to here, but you're still stuck with the habits you established many, many months ago in relation to this piece of music, right? So let's set that aside. Let's go to a new piece of music. We've got better ideas. We are older and wiser in how we engage and practice music. Let's establish some new habits in that context, yeah?
Okay.
Cool. Groovy. All right. I'll be in touch ASAP about the CD, and I'll send this through to you, the recording later today. Groovy.
Okay.